Access granted. Initiating Forge Protocol. Select preferred weapon configuration. Modification approved. Adding assassin module.
Good day. See you later. Until next time.
Quick, follow me.
And trust a
I'm
stranger.
no stranger. I'm El Peace. And I've been watching you.
That's not ominous at all.
I'll drop the cloak and dagger. I've been training to become like you, but training isn't enough. You're more than a warrior. The blood of the gods runs through your veins.
I thought they preferred Isu in Atlantis.
The Isu may as well be the divine with how they rule. Cold, calculating, indifferent to the people milling beneath them. But it's not just Isu blood that makes you special, is it? There's something else.
Well, you tell me.
I'm talking about this. Your spear.
Oh, showing off for me, are you?
Just a little. Are you impressed?
You're strangely charming. For a thief.
Flattering. But we have business to attend to, dikastes.
So, what do you want from me?
I'm involved with Atlas. He's afraid of taking the relationship public. He says his enemies would exploit me as his weakness, so he keeps me a secret.
Wait, you're in love with Atlas?
From my experience, I'm not sure Isu men truly love. Nevertheless, I need to make him see that I can be his strength. Our partnership might be a key to bridging the gap between Isu and humans.
Your love is strategic.
If we take the relationship public, we could marry and I could rule the district by his side, influence policy and ease the tension between the two groups. But so long as I am merely human, it can never be. That's why I want to be like you.
Someone so ready to kill his own brothers hardly strikes me as husband material.
Atlas is like any Isu, aloof and unchanging. That's why we make a good team. I bring out his humanity.
You seem very passionate about Atlantean politics.
Atlas doesn't approach the human and Isu conflict with compassion for humanity. I believe I can bring that compassion.
It would be nice to have another ally in Atlantis. What's your plan?
At the Adamant Metalon, they harvest a metal used to create devices just like your spear.
My spear's the strongest metal ever forged. Could this be used to forge other weapons?
Well, adamant ingots could. But what I need is raw adamant. I know the one who can forge it for me. Atlas can't suspect what I'm up to, so make sure you're not seen.
Oh, is that what this metal is? I found it when I was there earlier. Here, you can have it.
Nice to see that you're as skilled as you look. I'm making the right choice to become more like you.
You seem fine to me. I don't know why you're trying to change.
Just as you were destined to be dikastes, I am destined for this. I just know it.
Atlantis isn't worthy of the type of change you're hoping to bring if they can't accept you as you are.
Like most great politicians, I'm ahead of my time. That means I need to do something drastic if I'm going to push Atlantis forward for humans.
Still, all you have is raw adamant.
Until I take it to a skilled blacksmith so he can forge an Isu device from the adamant.
Well, you know where to find the dikastes when you need him.
The forging takes time. What we do next will change Atlantis irreversibly. You should make sure you complete all your duties as dikastes before meeting me at the Dome of Atlas.
Ah, the dikastes. I heard you can help me with the solar floral regeneration project.
The what?
Oh, forgive me. Let me start from the beginning. I'm Neocles, an imperial botanist here in Atlantis. I'm engineering a way to aid floral regrowth.
The flowers here can't just grow on their own?
Oh, no! You're not one of those followers of Minerva, are you?
I don't know anyone named Minerva.
Her students are so small-minded about my photosynthesis accelerator. If you want to be a scholar, why follow such a rudimentary doctrine?
Look, do you need something from me?
Oh, apologies, dikastes. You're new to Atlantis, and I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me begin. Basically, the plants are a key resource for us here. But a few cycles ago, humans overpicked them, and now the air is suffering.
You want to grow more?
In a sense, yes. I have a hypothesis, a theory that using a natural power source stronger than the sun will promote sustainable growth.
You're losing me again.
There are devices that project beams of light around the Garden of Triton. Redirecting them using the reflective surfaces would stimulate floral regrowth.
You want me to move your lights?
Yes, and the dikastes taking care of our natural resources would send a message to all of Atlantis.
A good message, I hope. It looks like all the light beams need to hit that central structure. That must be the device Neocles mentioned. Reminds me of how I opened the door to Atlantis. That worked! First one down. Something's blocking these. Won't budge. We'll get the flowers growing in no time. Something's in the way. Something's blocking these. Huh. Won't budge. Beautiful. That should do it. I'll tell Neocles it's done. That doesn't seem good. What happened? I moved your light beams. It seemed to be working, but then...
The beams are aligned, yes, but the power isn't running.
What do you think the problem is?
None of this makes any sense. The light beams should expand across the gardens and present with enhanced photons.
There might be something wrong with your theory. I still don't see how this light is any better than the sun.
The sun! That's it! The power source must also be displaced, rendering this light no different than the sun. No wonder you're the dikastes. That's brilliant!
So the next step is...
Go to the control room and make sure the power source isn't displaced.
And what exactly is this source?
An igneous matter consisting of Imperial... It's a rock. Just make sure there's a rock in the control room.
Fine. I'll go see if this rock is there. Looks like Neocles was right. There is no rock here. Get back here! Malaka!
What's the dikastes doing running around here?
I'm chasing down a thief. Looks like you're the one who took Neocles' rock.
My name is Melita. I'm an environmental biologist, not a thief. Neocles has no claim to a natural power source like this.
That rock must be worth a lot if you're trying to steal it.
You're the dikastes and you have no idea what the power source is? Aren't you invested in the future of our resources?
It's easy. Put the rock in Neocles' device, and we'll fix the flowers.
This isn't Neocles' first attempt at population balancing. When the flowers were overpicked and the bees started dying, first he attempted to artificially pollinate the flowers. When he artificially pollinated the flowers, the soil degraded. When the soil...
I get the idea. But then, how would you fix the gardens?
I wouldn't. Nature has been healing itself for eons. Neocles needs to stop meddling.
Melita! You've always been obtuse about the project. No accountability for civilization's impact on the ecosystem.
Insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. When will you accept your hypothesis has failed?
Failed is inaccurate terminology. I simply adjusted my theory after experiencing unintended results.
Enough bickering, both of you.
You're right. I wanted to destroy the power source to end his project once and for all. But as the dikastes, it should be your decision.
The project Neocles is working on is important for the future of Atlantis. Hand over the rock.
I hope you know what you're doing.
Thank you. This will propel Atlantis' sustainability forward by centuries. All those cynics like Melita will see the progress eventually.
Just be careful. It sounds like your theory could still use some work.
This is the right course of action for all of Atlantis, dikastes. Trust me. Please, do me the honor of returning the stone to the device.
Atlantis' gardens will be healed in no time.
no choice but
With
to face
wildlife?
both immediate and future consequences for lifetimes. That takes responsibility.
I hear you, Alethea. You may think I'm crazy, but at least I'm accountable.
That's the murderer! Murderer? I didn't do it!
Stop her before she kills again!
Leave me alone!
Want to tell me what that was all about?
No. I'll be fine. Dikastes! You can make this all go away! My name is Lyra, and you're... you! You've helped so many people. You're amazing and wonderful and powerful and... and you're here!
Thank you. That's nice of you.
You deserve all the praise and more.
They called you a murderer. You don't seem the type, but as the dikastes, I have to be sure.
They're sure I'm responsible for what happened to that poor family. They said it's like the other murders, but I couldn't live with myself, I swear. Please, please clear my name.
Where were you when the family was murdered?
If it happened last night like they said, I was here trying to sleep. Although lately it's been restless, filled with strange dreams. It's always the same one, over and over.
Were you alone?
Well, yes. I've been so tired lately, I decided to stay in.
You said something about other murders.
This was the third time. I just don't understand why they blame me. I don't have the stomach to do that.
I'll find out what really happened. Just point me in the direction of the attack.
Just down the road. Not too far from here.
If I were you, I'd hide until I return.
Ah, good idea. Thank you. You truly are a great dikastes.
Maybe...
Ah, the great dikastes. What did I do to deserve a visit?
I'm looking into the attack that happened nearby last night.
Ah, of course. I thought that was meant to be handled already.
You mean the mob harassing that woman?
I've said enough.
I understand your hesitation, but I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. I'll make sure whoever or whatever did this is punished.
You've already met the guilty one.
Lyra? You agree with the mob?
Of course I do. I'm the one who told them it was her. I saw her last night, bloody and in a frenzy.
It was dark. How do you know it was her?
I know what I saw.
Is this about what happened last night?
How do you know?
It's all everyone's talking about. And if the dikastes is here, you must be looking into it.
If you saw or heard anything, I need to know.
I saw it from the distance. Heard it too. Its howl will never leave my mind.
You saw a wolf?
Beast is more like it. If you see it, run!
I'll be careful. These foot house. Whoever murdered them left this way. These aren't stab wounds. They're claw marks. This bloody cloth doesn't match the mother or daughter's robes. It must have come off the murderer. I should return to Lyra and let her know what I found.
Well, did you find out what happened?
The evidence I found was conflicting.
Tell me.
2 people saw what happened. One woman heard a wolf howling, but a man said he saw you, covered in blood, and leaving the family's house.
He's lying!
Or mistaken. It was dark, so it could have been anyone. There's more. The killing blows weren't made by a weapon.
Then by what?
It almost looked like claw marks. And then there was this piece of cloth. It didn't match the clothes of anyone there.
That's mine! How did it get there? Someone wants me to look like I was responsible. Tell me the truth, dikastes.
Whether it was a wolf or something else, it's clear it wasn't you.
Of course it wasn't, but why would someone make it seem like I'm the murderer?
We'll figure that out together. After I kill the beast.
You're going to kill it?
What other choice is there? Do you want another mob after you?
No, of course not. I've just always hated the killing of animals.
If I don't kill it now, it will kill someone later.
I have a friend who can keep me safe while you end this.
I need to find the beast and kill it before it grows bloodthirsty again. This is no ordinary wolf! Malaka! Lyra!
It was me! What am I?
I've seen this before. A Minotaur, a Cyclops, a Gorgon. All were humans possessed by powerful Isu devices. The only way I could stop them was by killing them. But you're able to change back. Somehow, you're different.
I don't remember coming here. Or why?
If I had to guess, that side of you knew it was caught. Maybe it thought coming out here was the only choice it had.
That side of me. I've had dreams lately of being in a bright room, tied down, pain throughout my body. But now, I think that all really happened. I did kill them then. I don't remember it, but it was me, wasn't it? If you knew you would harm people again, and you could never control yourself, never stop, would you?
Would I what?
Jump?
course I wouldn't. There are always answers.
How could that be? It feels so... permanent.
It's only one part of you. It's not all of you. I know what it's like to be part human and part something else. Trust me, you can live with this burden.
I'm not as strong as you are.
Look at yourself. Yes, you are. You're stronger than you think. Plus, I've been thrown off a cliff before. I wouldn't recommend it.
But you're still here.
I am. And you are too.
You're right. Now that I know what's inside of me, I can do something about it. And I know who can help. Thank you.
I hope she'll be okay.
Issue technology can and will change whoever isn't strong enough to command it. That explains your own aggression, Layla.
I'm still me. I'm not as weak as you think I am.
Now that I have the Isu device forged, we need to move quickly. You distract Atlas while I sneak into his private chambers.
More sneaking.
After Poseidon outlawed human experiments, Atlas confiscated a device and kept it. That device theoretically could add a third helix to my DNA.
I've seen what these Isu devices can do. It's not pretty.
The science is sound. And I've even found evidence of tests being done on humans that looked promising. In previous cycles, of course, before Poseidon outlawed experimentation.
Just tell Atlas the truth.
You have good intentions.
If he's afraid of his enemies hurting me now, what will he think of me undergoing this procedure? Besides, he can't break Poseidon's law.
I'm not sure a good dikastes goes behind the back of an Atlantean Archon.
I've been preparing for this my entire life. Don't worry. Just keep Atlas talking while I'm in his chambers.
I don't think we have anything in common. What are we supposed to talk about? The weather?
Atlas is a jealous lover, and he's already threatened by your role as dikastes. Why not play to that advantage? Whatever you do, don't mention my plans.
Great. This will do wonders for our relationship.
Everyone knows it's lonely at the top, dikastes. Let's go. I've studied this science extensively. Once I impart Isu DNA into my body, I should be able to use the device without side effects.
It's the should that worries me.
Remember, whatever you do, don't reveal my political plans to others.
I could trick Atlas into thinking you and I are closer than we are.
Are we not close? What's there to trick?
You know what I mean.
Yes. Making Atlas envious would certainly be a good distraction.
Elpis? What are you doing here? With him, no less.
The dikastes and I were just taking a stroll, and I remembered I left a book on Atlantean cyclical history here. He'd like to borrow it. Do you mind if I fetch it?
No. Do you need me to help you look for it?
No. You two stay here. I'm sure you have much to discuss.
What game are you playing, dikastes?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sure by now Elpis has told you about the nature of our relationship. She's hardly as discreet as I'd like her to be. What business do you have with her?
What? Is Elpis not allowed to have friends?
Of course she can have friends. But I suspect there's more going on here.
You have nothing to worry about, Atlas. I have no schemes against you.
Maybe you don't play games, but Elpis lives for them. I can tell when she's up to something.
Don't talk about Elpis that way. She's not manipulative. She's passionate.
So you do care for her then?
You don't talk about Elpis like you love her.
And you're not speaking of her as if you're merely her casual acquaintance.
Elpis makes great points about improving the lives of humans in Atlantis. I support her cause. Why don't you?
She should support me. What? What have you done?
I'm not weak anymore, Atlas. I can rule Atlantis at your side.
This is your doing. You're trying to revolt against the issue with hybrids.
No!
What did you do?
I didn't mean to. He was going to kill you.
It seems my brother finally got his due. Is this your judgment, dikastes?
I killed Atlas. It wasn't my intention.
You hope to rule by his side to ease the conflict between humans and Isu.
He wasn't as supportive of my dreams as I would have hoped.
I support you. You can assume his role as you see fit. I will handle Poseidon and my brothers.
Thank you, Azais.
You can't be more corrupt than Atlas. And Atlantis can't fear progress if it hopes to pass this cycle.
Atlantean politics are even more dramatic than in the Greek world. What will you do now?
I'm not the first Atlantean ruler to take power by force. If the Isu can do it, why not me? Still, I didn't want to start my reign this way.
You started your reign by saving my life. Normally I do the saving.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you, dikastes.
Better ruler than Atlas. She certainly can't do any worse.
I'll make progress for humans in Atlantis, slowly but surely. Thank you again.
Ποιος εμέ περιπέσει?